Presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos says he will not be publicizing his statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth, or SALN. This makes him the only one out of the top presidential bets to refuse to release this document. In an interview Monday, January 24, Marcos says all politicians have rivals and that they will always create an issue out of nothing. In GMA News, the Jessica Soho presidential interviews, presidential aspirants Ping Lacson, Isko Moreno, Manny Pacquiao, and Leni Robredo say they are in favor of publicizing SALNs. Robredo's spokesperson Barry Gutierrez on Monday says if Marcos has nothing to hide, he should not be afraid of releasing his SALN. He adds releasing a public official SALN is an obligation to the Constitution and the law. Marcos is interviewed on Monday by CNN Philippines, DWIZ, Philippine Graphic, Business Mirror, and Filipino Mirror, which make up the ALC media group. Marcos, however, snubbed the invitation by GMA News to be interviewed by Soho, prompting #MarcosDuwag to trend. Top presidential aspirants, except Bongbong Marcos, faced their first interview with GMA News anchor Jessica Soho in a 3-hour program on Saturday, January 22. Marcos skips the show, claiming the veteran journalist is biased against the Marcoses. His spokesperson Vic Rodriguez says they opted to skip Soho's special program because they believe Soho's questions will just focus on negativity about Marcos. GMA Network defends Soho, saying the questions are tough because the job of the presidency is tough. During the interview, Senator Ping Lacson, Manila Mayor Isko Moreno, Senator Manny Pacquiao, and Vice President Leni Robredo go through 4 rounds of questions in a one-on-one style interview. Robredo is grilled on her readiness for the presidency, being the most inexperienced politician out of the 5. Robredo cites her office's achievements even after President Rodrigo Duterte kicked her out of the cabinet. Pacquiao's poor attendance in Congress and tax compliance are scrutinized. Soho also corners the boxing champion, a known Christian, by asking if he regrets saying gays are worse than animals in the past. Claiming he was misquoted, Pacquiao says he is not in favor of same-sex marriage because of his beliefs. Lacson, for his part, denies he tortured anybody during martial law when asked by Soho about his stints with the Metrocom Intelligence and Security Group Police Intelligence Branch. He also claims the accounts in the highly acclaimed book of Alfred McCoy were wrong. Meanwhile, Moreno is asked to reconcile his ever-changing statements on Duterte and if that rhetoric makes him a trapo or a traditional politician. Soho also makes Moreno explain why he kept the 50 million pesos in excess campaign funds he declared after the 2016 senatorial elections. Visit Rappler.com to know the presidential aspirants stand on major issues.
Need more context, clarity, and perspective? Get the full picture with Rappler Plus. With exclusive content and events, you'll get an opportunity to discuss issues with reporters, experts, and featured guests while helping Rappler continue its fearless journalism. Join now.
An Octa research report says new COVID-19 cases fell by 30% in Metro Manila from January 15 to 21. But the report says other areas are still experiencing upward surges, including Cebu City, Davao City, and other highly urbanized cities in the provinces. While a decrease is recorded in Metro Manila, its average daily attack rate is still severe at 83.93. With an almost 70% vaccination rate in Metro Manila, experts have seen fewer cases of severe and critical COVID-19 cases in the capital region. Meanwhile, the Health Department will be implementing its One COVID-19 Allowance or OCA program in 2022 to provide a more inclusive compensation system for healthcare workers. The previous benefits, known as the Special Risk Allowance and Active Hazard Duty Pay for health workers, will be discontinued. The OCA will be equitably distributed to health workers with consideration of their risk level classification. Those in high-risk classification will be given 9,000 pesos a month, while those in moderate and low-risk classifications will be given 6,000 pesos and 3,000 pesos a month respectively. The Health Department allocated 50 billion pesos of its 2022 budget for the OCA. Philippine Olympian EJ Obiena decides not to enter into mediation offered by the Philippine Sports Commission in his conflict with the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association or PATAFA. Obiena says PATAFA acted in bad faith and is using mediation as a means to silence him. Obiena claims PATAFA has been telling the public that Ukrainian pole vaulter Sergei Bubka voluntarily executed his affidavit but did not disclose association head Philip Elahuico prepared the affidavit and cajoled Bubka into signing. Obiena says PATAFA tried the same thing with his coach, Vitaly Petrov. Aside from the affidavits, Rappler obtained documents and email exchanges showing how PATAFA omitted Obiena's replies in a press conference. The funding row between Obiena and PATAFA began when the National Federation accused the pole vaulter of embezzlement and asked him to return 85,000 euros or 4.8 million pesos worth of funds meant for Petrov's salary. Obiena and his camp refuted the claims, and Petrov announced that the current Asian record holder paid him full. PATAFA shifted its allegations to late payments and charged Obiena with estafa. Actress Kris Aquino refutes rumors of her possible reconciliation with ex-fiancé Mel Sarmiento. Aquino slammed Sarmiento in a reply to columnist Lolit Solis' Instagram post, who posted about the signs the ex-couple have possibly reunited. Aquino says Sarmiento left her at her lowest and did it via text. It was on January 3 when Aquino revealed she and Sarmiento broke up. Aquino adds Sarmiento also failed to acknowledge that he hurt her son Bimbi and snubbed her sister's efforts to mediate between the two. Aquino also says Sarmiento supposedly made up stories of his closeness with her brother, the late former President Noynoy Aquino. The two were engaged in October 2021 after confirming their relationship in August.